Hi there. Um, we are live. It's 7:30 Wednesday for the Monkey Wench podcast on Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project channel. We've got an interesting question that I posed on this podcast. What do you think? What do you think about the question? There's all these people, all these cameras. Why aren't there more photos for one thing, and why aren't more people seeing them? Let me know if you can hear me okay. I've got a new set of headphones here that I hope is helping the sound. Let me know. If not, then I will pull the plug on the headphones, and we'll see how this works. Yeah, because I think at one point in time there were issues with the sound. The sound wasn't real loud, and it also could be because I'm a soft-spoken person. I am not loud and okay. Hey, thanks, Pam. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's always a concern. um, anyway, what's your opinion? Hey, Jeff. Oh, good to see you, Jeff. Let me get some housekeeping done here. Hey, Joe, good to see you. Now, don't forget to like, you know. Hey, thanks. Yeah, don't forget to hit that little like, that thumbs up, underneath, underneath the screen, and let YouTube know that you like the podcast and you want us to continue. Tell your friends about us. Yeah, I'd like to get our subscribers up to at least 2,000. I mean, really, I've been on. I've had this YouTube channel since I don't know, can't remember, 2014, 2015, something like that. And I only have 1,600 and so subscribers. So let's get the numbers up. If you guys can help me, I appreciate it so much. But also on Amazon, you can purchase my book, What I've Learned About Bigfoot, 50 Years and Counting. That'll help. See, I'm not only a podcaster or the founder of the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project organization. I'm also a researcher, investigator. People contact me with reports, and I go. I travel. I've traveled all throughout Pennsylvania and into neighboring states. I've traveled all the way out to Oklahoma. So anything that you guys can do to help out. We also have decals. They're about 3 inches by 5 inches, and you can put them on your car, your fridge, your Yeti. $5, free shipping. They're cheap. Okay, get that out of the way. I hate talking about stuff like that, but it is what it is. I am so happy to see all of you on here. I really am. And yes, exactly. Land Between the Lakes. I've gone there twice already. I love it there. I'm going again in April. And I absolutely love that area. I truly do. And it's going to be fun, Joe. It really will. And my main name is Parker. We've got relatives all over the place. So, tell me, guys, what do you think? Patty, it's about time you got on here. Now, this is also an invitation to you guys. Yeah, I had originally asked someone to be a guest on the podcast, but unfortunately they weren't able. Hey, Steve or Shelly, whichever one that's on here. Good to see you. And unfortunately, the guest that I had originally asked wasn't able to make it on. But I'm going to put the invitation out there. If there's someone who would like to come on with me and talk about the subject, and let us know what your opinion is, and what do you think? There's so many people out there. There's more people than before. Getting out there in the forests, out there in the woods, out, not only there, but nature's slowly encroaching in, or humans are encroaching into forest habitat, and the forest habitat is encroaching more on us into suburban areas. Why is it that you think that there aren't more photos? Why aren't there more people seeing them, reporting them? Is it just because people are seeing them, more people, but they're afraid to talk about it? What do you think? Or is it some other reason? Is it some ability that the Bigfoot have? I usually don't talk about the what everyone terms as the woo side, but we can go there. We can go there this evening. Because I am open-minded. Yeah, I agree, Jeff. I honestly think that's what it is. People are afraid to talk. Yeah, but is it more than just that? Do Bigfoot hold special abilities? Can they cloak, per se? Some people report seeing Bigfoot cloaking, going invisible, sort of like the Predator in the Predator movies, or going through a portal. What do you think? Let's talk. Yeah, tell you what, I'm going to I'm going to put the invitation on here. Somebody wants to talk? Click on this link that I just posted on the chat and get in here. Come on screen with me. We'll be side by side. Someone over here, someone will be over here, right there, and I'll be over here. My perspective is opposite on here. But if you want to get on here with me, come on. Don't be afraid. Let's talk about this. Steve or Shelley, Patty, Jeff, Blue-Eyed Northern, Joe, Melvin, Pam. Who wants to talk? Okay. All right. A lot of individuals with habitual cryptid sightings experiences are saying they've experienced cryptids blending into their surroundings. I believe them. Too shy to come on. Aw, not having personal experience. Aw. I appreciate that, Patty, or Pam. I'm sorry. I appreciate that. And I thank you for giving your opinion here. I really do. I appreciate that. And I agree. Yeah, I've experienced things somewhat. Okay, Melvin, I don't think they have any special powers. It's their land and they know how to get away. Yeah. It's their territory. They know their territory and they use their knowledge and experience to their advantage. Okay, Patty, I think they're to put off a signal, maybe some kind of a signal to block some of your equipment. Just saying. Yes, yeah, they're the infrasound that they put out, and the military has done experiments with infrasound, over many years. And the military has put out, there's papers in the public, that we can access. In fact, I have links to these resources in the group where the military has written about how infrasound is proven to interfere with electronics. It can shut off electronics. It can drain batteries. It can give like a interference sound. Yeah, there's a lot that infrasound, of course, can do, as we all know. And we can do, if you are still learning about this, if you want to learn more about infrasound, I do have a lot of resources, information on it. And if you want me to do a podcast on infrasound on the subject, let me know. Put a comment below and we can do another episode. Oh, Jeff, I just noticed you down there. Sorry. Hey.
Hey, how are you doing?
How you doing? Good to have you on here.
So hold on, I gotta get these sausages off of again.
Ah, sausage, man. And you're not sharing?
Well, it'd take me a while to deliver it. I've actually been, since I talked to you last, you wouldn't believe the amount of stuff I've been hearing.
Oh, yeah. Now, let's give a little introduction to you, Jeff. Tell a little bit about what happened previously.
So I live in Maryland on the border between on the border of PA. How far am I from you, Mary? I can't remember.
Well, I am near Newcastle, Pennsylvania, which is on the Ohio-Pennsylvania line.
So, so you're a few hours from me.
Yes.
Anyway, well, you know the background on that, but I'll give the highlights. I got chased out of the woods by one in '08. Loudest damn thing I've ever heard.
Yep.
But I've been talking to some guys around here, and now they're saying sounds like there's a lot more activity in this area than we thought there was, Mary.
That's good to hear, but it's not so good for you guys who live there.
Well, you remember we talked about the river with the rocks?
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing from some guys that work the railroad down there. There's a lot of stuff going on along that river.
Okay.
I'm trying to get more information on it, but there's been a lot of sightings on the railroad in the last few years.
Okay. Well, is the river in a deep river valley?
It's Susquehanna.
Okay.
And it's in that area of Holtwood I told you about. It's in a very deep valley. It's
okay.
Pretty rugged country too.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's similar to the topography that we have around here, where the river is in a very deep river valley. Yeah. And there are a lot of Bigfoot reports, in that valley along the river. And if there's old caves or old coal mines in that valley, then they'll be hanging around there. And of course, with the river being there, there's food, water, probably shelter with old caves or old coal mines, shelter, just in a uprooted tree, under the tree roots.
Yeah, I haven't started looking around here for much as far as sticks and stuff go, but I'm going to start looking into that.
Yeah.
It's been a little too muddy to get out in the woods here lately, so I haven't really been out there.
Yeah, I know. The weather at least has been nice for the past couple of days, but no, it rained really hard here today. It was pouring and the ground's real messy.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do anything when you're slipping around and don't want to try to drive to the back of the field and get the truck stuck, and then have to try to get out of there on foot wouldn't be a good time.
No, it's great for finding prints, of course, and this has always been my favorite time for getting out, just to look for footprints.
Yeah.
And other sign like that. But other than that, it's messy.
I really just, what you were touching on earlier, I don't think people pay attention to anything is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where a lot of it comes into.
Yeah, that's true. It's a lot of them, they have their heads deep, in their cell phones, or else they have their ear pods on and listening to music or podcasts.
Yeah.
And, they just don't pay attention. You're right.
I mean, how many times have you seen somebody on their phone and they're completely oblivious to the fact that anything's going on around them? So.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I don't know if you heard about whenever I was out in Oklahoma back in 2018, my sister was with me. And she is that type of person. As soon as the vehicles, would get going or whatever, she'd be faces buried in her phone and texting or playing Words with Total Strangers or whatever that game is. um, and everyone in our group was having a sighting, doing, seeing something, and she's missing everything. And we kept telling her, Deb, you're not going to see anything if you keep playing on your phone. So finally she got sick and tired, of me bugging her about that, especially after I had a sighting, and it was a really good one too. And and she said, okay. So
that was the same night.
No, it was the next night. She put her phone down and she said, okay, all right, I'll pay attention. So we're driving out of an area, and she's looking out the window, and she sees a Bigfoot up in a tree.
I think I do remember that.
Yep.
You really can't make up this stuff. It's
no. And she was in total shock. She couldn't even talk. It was a chore to try to drag out of her, okay, what's going on, Deb? Until we finally got it out of her that it was a Bigfoot she saw up in a tree. And so we immediately stopped the vehicles. We had a long convoy of Bigfooters, and we stopped the convoy. All of us turned around, went back, and she's looking for this tree, and finally spotted it. And of course, by then the Bigfoot was gone, and she was so mad, and she was afraid that we wouldn't believe her now that there was nothing in the tree. And we told her, no, Deb, we believe you, absolutely. It was a perfect sentinel tree. It was like shaped in a Y, and it was sitting right in the crotch of the tree with its legs dangling down, his arms up, holding both sides, both branches. And it was fantastic sighting for her, but she's still shaken by it.
Well, I'm trying to think of where the Juanita River is.
I think that's Juniata. Okay.
Juniata, where is that? I don't think it's anywhere near me.
I think that's probably closer. Let me look on Google Map. Unless Melvin, you can tell us what area is that? Is that up near Harrisburg area? Because I know it runs near.
About an hour from Harrisburg. I'm not.
Okay, yeah, north of Harrisburg.
North
okay,
of Harrisburg.
Yeah, thank you, Melvin. Yeah, I know that I've received and heard a lot of sightings along the Susquehanna, but in that upper section.
Oh, that area around Holt was not that rail line isn't far from there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's not that far at all.
Yeah. Yeah,
And I
there's
think that's a perfect place for them to travel. So
it is. Yeah, they use the rivers, as a travel way. They'll sneak down and travel right along the rivers.
It's like every other animal that's not supposed to be in this state.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I had a guy show me a picture of a mountain lion that his friend took 2 weeks ago in Susquehanna State Park.
Oh, really? Wow.
That's only like 20 minutes from my house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. They love that river.
Yeah. Yeah, I live near the Beaver River, and there was a mountain lion seen. Well, my husband saw it, and maybe not even a half a mile from here. And a lot of the neighbors saw it. I heard it a couple of nights. One night it was hunting, and whatever it was hunting, it was nasty. It was a nasty kill.
I think it was 12 years ago I saw that one, and then a couple years before that we had seen some. But we've got like you've seen the geography behind me. I've got the state park right there, and it's there's plenty of places for them to hide.
Yep. Okay, you have many friends who see mountain lions frequently also. Yeah. I think there was an article that was shared in the group recently about the Pennsylvania DNR, their response to mountain lions in Pennsylvania.
Response.
Yeah, non-response. And of course, they always say, there has to be a breeding pair, and they don't see any breeding pairs. It's always, there is possibility that they've escaped from someone, or some owner decided they didn't want an adult mountain lion in their house.
Anytime one gets spotted in this area, natural resources is always going, well, it was probably a house cat that they misidentified from a distance. And I'm thinking, okay. Yeah.
That was another thing. And they even gave a photo as an example of how it can be mistaken. And I'm looking at this photo and thinking, I don't see it. I truly don't.
Now, there's been a few misidentifications, but most of the stuff that I've seen now, you're not misidentifying that.
No. You can pretty much tell, unless your perspective is way off, and especially if it's on your own property or land that you're very familiar with, that where something is far away or if it's closer, and you can tell, if it's 100 pounds or 150 pounds versus 10 pounds.
And then there was, did you hear about the bear mauling in Butler County?
No, when did that happen?
Last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm close to Butler County.
Yeah, there was I guess someone went outside with their dogs or something, and I guess there were cubs involved. And
my! I wonder what part of Butler County, because Butler County is large.
Sure, I saw it on my phone earlier today. I didn't really read too far into it.
Okay. Huh.
I know that she was pretty rough shape when they took her to the hospital.
Oh my. Okay. Out of hibernation, yeah. Plus the cubs.
Yeah.
Oh my. I know I take my dog out, and during the daytime I just let her out, by herself. But at nighttime, as soon as it gets dark, I go outside with her.
Yeah.
Because if there's something around, you bet, I'm the mama bear. I chased after a Bigfoot. I actually chased after
that story.
Yeah, he was harassing my dog, and you don't do that.
I still laugh when I hear that story about Kumbo's grandmother and the broom when she used to chase the one at their place.
Yes. Yep.
I listen to him tell that story, and I just can't stop laughing every time I think about it, because this little old woman with a broom.
Yep. Well, hey, you grab what you got, and I had a golf club handy, so that's what I had picked up.
I mean, they gotta be taken aback by that when they see somebody coming after them. They're probably like, shit. I don't know what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah, they run off.
Did he mess around a lot after that, or did he?
Yeah, he came back. He continued. I think he found it funny. I don't know, but no, it didn't deter him. I didn't hear from him for the rest of that night, but no, he came back.
You didn't give him any warning shots, did you?
No, we did a lot of target practice out back, but
to keep them back a bit, or does it?
It will up to a point, and it depends on the Bigfoot. Sometimes it'll give them a little bit of question as to whether or not they really want to come in or not, but it just depends on them. And this one, he didn't care. He came in and he just harassed us and beat on the house, and he was just a real SOB.
Yeah, I listened to some of that, but I'm still trying to catch up on some of your stories.
Believe me, that's not the end of them.
I still think that there's a lot of stuff that I've overlooked over the years that could have been something, and
yeah,
it's just things that keep popping into my head.
Yeah, there's.
I had something growling at me while we were fixing a fence in an old washout, like in a spring that was all grown over. We couldn't see what it was, and I just thought it was any other normal varmint. But
yeah, they'll growl at you to warn you off. Yeah, I've been growled at. Yeah, I was kind of pushing the territory a little bit there, but I had no choice.
I still have doubts that's what it was, because where it was, there was no way for it to get out of there without us seeing it.
Yeah.
If it was in there, or it could have just stayed there. Oh.
Yeah. Who knows?
I wasn't going in there to figure out what it was. I can tell you that much.
Gee, why not?
Lock yourself inside somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, Melvin, old gals who have babies and fighting Indians at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you Mama Bear. Whenever that attitude's, we protect our babies. And, there's been, Joe Parker. Joe Parker has the right last name, with Indian fighters and the Indians coming in and wiping out settlements down in Texas. The Parker homestead, Parker Fort. The Comanches came in. Have you ever
heard of anything hanging deer carcasses in tree stands?
Okay, I think that question was asked above. Let me grab it and post that. Okay, where was that? I have a photo of a deer carcass hanging from a tree stand from about 9 foot up.
Really?
Yeah. And this carcass is completely stripped of meat. It's only bone and sinew holding it together. That's it.
Is there any hide left on it?
No, long gone. Long gone.
There was should have.
Here we go. There's the question. Yeah.
I had kind of thought that it was, that's why I've never mentioned it to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought it was one of my idiot cousins that was always causing trouble next door, messing with our stuff, which he did. But there have been a couple times we found, stripped carcasses hanging out of deer stands.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, as probably, what you said, 9 foot up. I'm thinking, how did his scrawny little ass even get the carcass up into the stand is what I'm, because it was a bit of an effort for me to get it out of the tree.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wish I still had pictures of that, but it was on a phone from about 6 phones ago, so who the hell knows where that picture is, but there was a couple times we found that. Some of my friends still think it was him, but now that I think about after hearing some other things, I'm wondering if it was.
Well, at the time, whenever, see, that was my neighbor who had sent that photo to me.
Yeah.
And he asked me what I thought, and I kind of had an idea as to what could be the purpose for it and if it could be Bigfoot. And so I asked Kumbo, I asked Bubba and Jim Hart, and who has since passed away, and Kumbo both. And they both said that a Bigfoot will do that to kind of warn you out of their territory, that it's their territory. They are hunting there. They don't want you to hunt there. That's their hunting territory. And so I asked my neighbor, I said, do you have another area you can hunt in? And he said, yep. I said, well, let them have that area. Let them hunt there. He said, okay, no problem.
Yeah, it's amazing what you keep thinking back to the further you go back when you're thinking about this.
Yeah.
I hadn't even told Spencer about that. I completely forgot about it.
Okay, yeah. Melvin says mountain lions are known to do this. Yeah, I've heard of them, dragging, prey up
into. They're going to climb up a ladder and leave it on the upper rungs.
Yeah, literally, this is on the ladder, hanging from the ladder 9 foot up.
Yeah, just like one just, reached up there and.
Yep, just hung it up there. Yep.
And those are all 15-foot ladder stands.
Yeah.
I didn't even tell Greg about that. I completely.
Oh.
He'd probably like to hear that.
Okay, Pam, to mark their territory, it's possible, just, like I said, to let people know that, this is my hunting territory. Go away, find someplace else to hunt.
That makes sense, because I wouldn't say we would have the odd things that I would see around here, but I always attributed to trespassers.
Yeah.
But now that I think about that, and just stuff that's been messed with, like trail cameras and things, the more I look into this, the more it makes me wonder. And it's sporadic. It doesn't have. I mean, I wouldn't say we see something every year as far as something strange, but then again, if something could be going on and nobody noticed.
Right.
I just wonder how close I've been to them before and had no damn clue I were there.
Same here. And it's very possible. Very possible. They'll hide underneath a bush, and you can walk right under, right past this, especially mountain laurel, as large as mountain laurel can get. You walk past one of those.
Now, as far as covering their tracks, what are your thoughts on that?
They have been known to backtrack on their own tracks. step in their own tracks and backtrack themselves. And I know that there are reports where tracks will go into the middle of a field and just stop.
Yeah.
With no sign of backtracks or anything else. And I've got different thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm still not sure where I'm at in that department.
Yeah, one thing that I know is that they, I asked the people who say, well, I tracked them to a field and tracks just stopped. And
Yeah.
I asked them, well, how far out did you search for tracks? And they say, well, maybe 10 feet, 20 feet, maybe. And I say, you have to look up to 30 feet and maybe even beyond, because they can leap. They can leap a very great distance, about 30, 35 feet even. A big alpha, yeah, they'll leap pretty far.
Well, you think about how far a deer can cover when it's running.
Yeah.
Something like that could cover the ground.
You have to search out. You have to keep searching further out than what you think is possible. And so I can, it's, but as for the portal hopping or something like that, yeah, I cannot discount everything. I really can't. Yeah. But I go by science. I go by logic. And that's the way that I will always go. And if I can explain it, by science, that's where I will go. And I just can't go by portals. I can't, not unless I see evidence, real true evidence of it.
Yeah, I'm still. I know there's flesh and blood there.
Yeah,
but there's something else to them.
Yeah. As for disappearing or cloaking or something like that, that's a possibility. And again, I can explain it by science. Their hair has special properties.
Yeah.
And their hair is hollow, and if you see them, in sunlight, I'm thinking that the refraction, of the sunlight on their hair can make it seem like they disappear. I don't know. I've never seen that happen. That's just my hypothesis on it. But who knows? Maybe they can cloak. I've seen some pretty mysterious things, out in the woods. But as for it being a Bigfoot, because I've seen something in the trees that kind of sparkled and wasn't quite visible. And I'm thinking, okay, it may resemble a Bigfoot, but I don't think it was Bigfoot.
Yeah. I mean, you can stand still in the woods, and if you're good enough at hiding yourself, somebody will walk right past you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've done that many times, not only in the woods, in other places.
I'm in a deer stand, and people just walk right by me, and I'm...
Yeah. Yeah. People are oblivious. They, like you said, you stand still. People walk right past you.
And they probably could do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see what Melvin said. Talking to a friend who said they saw one crossed 125 yards in 4 steps. Yeah. I can believe it. They're running at a full out run. Yeah, they can cover that. Yeah, I witnessed one running out in Oklahoma, and he was running through a parking lot at midnight underneath the bright parking lot lights, and he went through that parking lot so fast. I didn't see him leaping or how many steps he took, but it was fast.
Did a lot of people see him?
Just myself and one other. My sister, of course, had her head in her phone. We were at a casino out there, and I spoke with a security guard, and they said, "Yeah, we get them on their security cameras all the time."
Yeah, which casino is that? The
Golden something or other. I can never remember the name of it.
Yeah, I've heard people talk about that place before.
Yeah, yeah.
They get them on the security cameras a lot, don't they?
Oh yeah, yeah. I asked the security guard if they would share the video of it running across a parking lot, and she said nope. She said that that'll get destroyed. They don't want people going there for Bigfoot. They want people to come there to gamble. And plain and simple, that's what it is.
Well, maybe they can teach the big guy how to play blackjack.
Yeah, because the Bigfoot go there all the time. People, their employees are afraid to go outside at nighttime to take the garbage out. Because thank you, Joe. Golden River, yes, thank you. Yeah, they're afraid to take the garbage out to the dumpsters because the Bigfoot are always hanging around the dumpsters. The one that I saw was coming from the other side of the building away from the dumpsters, but I don't doubt for a second that he's probably raided those dumpsters.
But most people can't handle running into a raccoon in a dumpster. I don't know how they react if that thing.
Yeah, you don't want to get in between a Bigfoot and food.
Just turned in the bag, I guess.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. Yeah, Dan Ricky area. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were with Kumbo, and who else was with us that evening? There's Kurt Mosier, and oh man, a heck of a lot of great Bigfooters.
You were with all the fun people.
Yeah.
I think when I started listening to this, the first thing I'd probably listen to was the Outlaws.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I went through quite a few podcasts, and nobody talked common sense. What they were saying just didn't make sense. But as soon as I heard the Outlaws, Bear and Kumbo, I thought, no, this is it. These guys are the real deal. They, it's common sense what they're talking about, and it makes sense.
Not a bunch of PhDs trying to
blow smoke up your ass, your arse.
Yeah.
Okay, you've seen the video. Okay, yeah. Which video was that, Joe? Probably the one where they were, where they found footprints and handprints on the dumpster. I know I've found quite a few handprints and footprints around dumpsters behind bars and restaurants. Great place to look. Not a secret, but it's a good tip. For someone looking for evidence. Look around the dumpsters. Food. That's a great draw. Okay, Purgatory. Yeah. Well, that's why we stopped there at the casino. We were in Purgatory, and we were just heading home. Heading back to camp from Purgatory, and I think one of the guys in our convoy, their truck broke down, so we pulled back into the casino parking lot, and everybody else had their heads underneath the hood of the truck, and the four of us were sitting in
This one.
the truck, another truck, but only two of us had our heads up, out, not looking at our phones. And I tell everybody, look, your situational awareness. Always be aware of your surroundings, and it doesn't matter where you're at, even in a casino parking lot. I'll go through Black Kettle. To be honest, I don't know exactly the names of the areas that we went through. Yeah, all I can tell you was Purgatory. Oh heck, what was the name of that lake? The Kurt Mosier took us to. Can't remember the name of the lake, but it was a great trip. We spent a week out there. Turkey hunter spot. I don't know. We went to a bunch of really great spots. Saw a lot of eye shine. A lot. I tell you, Oklahoma is fantastic for Bigfoot. It truly is. The Chickasaw National Recreation Area is outstanding.
That because of a lot of the Indian reservations.
Yes, yes. Outstanding area, truly is. Okay, let's see. Robert. Hey, welcome, Robert. After having good luck of seeing one, did you go into the casino, see if your luck would hold? No. No. For one thing, I had no money, and number two, it was 12:30 at night. We had a 3-hour drive back to camp, and I wasn't driving. And plus, I really don't have good luck in casinos. I always play the slots. I put pennies in there, and whatever I put in goes out. I don't win.
I don't have good luck at playing anything.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Melvin. Nicest people. Nicest people. Okay. Indian school stories. Okay, trying to remember. Now, I think who is it? Oh man, I can't think of his name. He has a Oklahoma group for Bigfoot and ghost stories and all kinds of other things. And he's always full of great stories, man. And I think I recall him saying something about the Indian school. But yeah, if anyone gets a chance to go Bigfooting out in Oklahoma, go. I highly recommend it. But go with others. Don't go alone. Find someone who knows what they're doing, who knows the territory, and get out there. But Pennsylvania, we cannot discount, just how active that we are, and Maryland just over the line, where Jeff lives. Pennsylvania has 71, at least 71% forest, and that's the last that I've heard from National Resources. That one of the rangers told me.
The development's getting worse in this area.
Yeah, it is here too, and but then again, I'm seeing new woods being planted also, and so hopefully what's being taken up or taken out is being replaced. But I don't think not all of it. And so, Bigfoot as well as wildlife, they're all being pushed out, and into where, humans live. There's, heck, people open up their doors in the McMansions, and they walk out and there's deer right outside their door, and they don't know how to handle it. Okay, Fort Sills. Okay, the Indian School at Fort Sills. Okay. Where Quanah Parker's buried. And
you ever get any reports from Maine? Anybody ever talk to you about that?
Yeah, I have heard a couple reports from Maine. I really don't get that many from too many other states, but I have heard a few.
For bear hunting once in a while.
How far north have I investigated? I've been up into Ontario, Canada. Well, Ontario and Quebec, both. And I think at that time it was sort of not quite investigating, but kind of half and half. I was single at the time, and with my fiance and my then fiance, and did a lot of cross country skiing, out in the forest. And I tell you what, cross country skiing in Quebec, at 20 below, and that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. It's something else.
Lord, that's cold.
Yeah, it was. But I tell you, anyone who's ever cross country skied, once you get moving and the blood starts pumping, I was taking my coat off, because I didn't want to sweat, while doing that out in that cold. Okay, you think one day Bigfoot numbers will, where they don't hide. I know one thing is that their numbers are growing. Pardon me, Jeff?
I said, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, their numbers are growing. I know that, which is good and bad, because if they grow too much, then there's okay, who gets what territory, humans or Bigfoot?
Well, what was that story Coonbo told about the ones that were running through the park in the daytime?
Which one? Out in Tennessee?
I think it was Tennessee.
The ones that were slapping the RVs
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that happened in a park out in Ohio where I was at one night. But yeah, Coonbo tells that story where I think it was a bunch of juveniles.
Yeah, and they were doing it in broad daylight, weren't they?
Yeah, they just run through and slapping the RVs just out of fun. But kids will be kids, whether they're Bigfoot, primate, non-human primate, whatever they are. Bored kids got nothing better to do, and they got to occupy themselves, and they'll make trouble. And then they play the games of counting coup.
Yeah.
Get as close as they can or touching a human.
Next month I'll be good.
Pardon me?
I said I'm going camping next month in Allegheny County, so I'm hoping I don't have something counting coup on me.
In what, Allegheny National Forest or?
Probably Green Ridge in Western Maryland, Allegheny County.
I see. Okay. Should be fun. Hopefully the weather is good for you.
Well, We're going turkey hunting, but I'm probably just going to tend to the camp and go fishing because I don't have very good luck with turkeys.
Oh, I just saw a half a dozen crossing the road, whenever my husband and I were heading back this evening. Some
Probably have
good
better
size
luck
ones.
trying to shoot them here.
Yeah, that and there was about a dozen deer on the hillside across from the house. They're always there, unless you're hunting.
I like hunting, but as far as turkeys are concerned, I'd rather hunt a butterball turkey at this grocery store.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, the story
I'm still
tells.
trying to find out. I've been looking into some things in the state, but
Mhm.
there's there's a lot more sightings in this state than I thought there were originally.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that there were here in Pennsylvania. Initially, I had started a map of sightings, and someone got in and destroyed the map.
Oh Lord!
It was on Google Maps, but someone destroyed it. But then another member of mine, friend, started up another Google map where he has it's the PA Bigfoot Encounters map. And I think there are at the very least 600 some reports that he has on there. And he's gone to a lot more trouble than I did, a lot more work into his map.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of detail. And there's more reports out there, more people who have seen or experienced things that will come out publicly about it. At least something like that for a map. They can remain anonymous.
Yeah.
But they can still get the story out.
I don't know if I ever told Spencer. I can't remember. If you look about an hour from here, there's a town called Sykesville, and I think it was in the 70s up until like the early 80s. There were sightings all in that town, and it was, I guess, our own version of the South Monster. Or the Sykesville Monster.
Oh, yeah.
And then someone saw it again in the, I think it was 81. Yeah, it was 81. A guy fishing, I think, Patapsco, saw it on the river, and then he called it in, and within like an hour, the whole place was roped off, and black SUVs and all that other wonderful three-letter agencies were.
Yeah.
And he tried to talk to them, saying he was the one that called it in, and they just kicked him off of the scene. So.
Yep. Yeah, they wouldn't allow you in.
So there was obviously something there they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I think whenever you see refrigerated trucks alongside them, yeah, that's when you know that it's not good news for the Bigfoot or whatever's in there.
How often have you gotten reports of military showing up after somebody sees one?
I've heard it a few times.
Yeah.
I've received a few reports. It's mostly just military coming in and blocking off roads after a Bigfoot got hit by a truck or something. But then I've also received a few reports where people will go into a remote area and they see military there, helicopters, and refrigerator trucks. And and nobody's allowed in there. So there was probably a Bigfoot possibly that caused trouble, that may have hurt a human, hurt someone, and unfortunately, military goes in and
I hope they're packing a lot of firepower.
yeah, they'll wipe out the entire troop, and that's unfortunate.
Now, have you ever been able to verify any of that?
I have not, but the only thing that I've heard, and this is from others, who said that they've gone in afterwards and there's nothing there. There's no more Bigfoot sign. There's nothing. And that's all just secondhand information.
Yeah.
So take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Now, as far as their movement, like in between your area and mine, do they stay in the same spot for most part, or do they kind of, make a circle around and come back through at certain times?
Yeah, the ones around here, and especially the one that used to harass us at the other house, he would come through. He was on a cycle of about 2.5 weeks that he would come through, 2.5 to 3 weeks. And so I was talking with Kumbo about it, and he was saying, yeah, they go in a circle. What they'll do is they'll feed out an area within a couple days, and then they'll move on and feed out that area and move on. And they'll just go in a pretty wide circle, of maybe around 30 miles.
Yeah.
And just make their way back to the beginning again in 2.5, 3 weeks. And I've heard that time frame from other people also. And other people, it's constant. So it just depends on the territory. Yeah. If there's sufficient food, water, and shelter in one area, they don't need to move, in that circle.
Now, over here, we're not on the backside of the farm as much the rest of the year, except for when we're planting. And that's where all the activity is, and that's everything that ever seems to happen is during hunting season.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're not back there, they could be there whenever.
Yeah. Yep.
The only time I've ever heard anything up closer to the barn besides that growling in that ditch was the 500-pound heron. So
yeah. I tell you, those things, I've heard the calls. That's pretty horrific. Yeah, those things can make a. Ooh.
It could have the likelihood of 3 blue herons being surrounding me at 4:30 in the morning next to the barn.
Yeah. I think that something was imitating if it was a heron call, something was imitating it. But
well, like Greg said, the Bigfoot the one that was imitating the owl sounded like an owl's laryngitis.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I've heard them imitating owls before. They can be funny, but you can tell the difference. Of course, an owl can, depending on the area and the acoustics of an area, it can sound like they're larger. But then if the acoustics of the area just don't fit, then it's probably something that is 500 pounds or larger.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like anytime I ever hear a noise, it's always at a site where I can't see anything. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
and
The
there,
one. Yeah.
you
The
know,
one
there's
time. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
times when you'll be in the woods, and like I've said before, you know something's looking at you,
Yeah.
but you can't see it.
Right. Yeah. You're. Well, you have to pay attention to your instincts, and that's your instincts kicking in, saying, "Hey, I'm being watched."
I got that feeling one time, and friend, it was gun season. A friend of mine had asked me to test out his new rifle for him on some of the deer, and I was carrying and I've never hunted with one, an AR-10 in 450 Bushmaster because this county we're only supposed to use slug guns or straight wall cartridges, no bottlenecks, unless you're shooting does on crop damage permits. Then you can use a regular rifle. Don't ask me, that's just how this damn state is. But then you go into PA, everybody can use rifles there. You go 10 minutes up the road to Cecil County, still in Maryland, and you can use rifles there. You head over to Carroll County this way, but everything else below us until some of the shore states in western Maryland, that's all. There's a lot of shotgun and straight wall cartridges. So I was hunting with this big bore, and I'm sitting in this stand going to myself, I don't know what you are, but I hope you don't decide to come up into this tree because there's going to be a problem. And then the feeling just kind of went away.
Yeah. It's strange how that happens. How often have you felt that you were in danger?
Well, I always chalked it up to just being nerves, but ever since, I talked about it on Woodwalkers, I'm not 100% sure I was imagining things
Yeah.
a few times.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to ever admit that they got scared of the dark, but there's been a few times I'm coming out of the woods looking over my shoulder trying to see how fast I can get back to the truck.
Well, once something happens to you, it's natural. It's a natural response. It's caution for one thing, and plus now what's out there.
Nothing scared me as bad as that night with the deer stand.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, would you like to share that on here?
I can.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd be interested.
That is like Greg says about the motorcycle. That is I still relive that every time I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do that here in a second. Oh, hold on. I need the jar first.
Yep. Sip time. I need one too.
Yeah, that's not water.
Mine is.
So that night when we were working on the stand, 2008, actually, Mary, I had talked to Josh about this, and he said that he thinks it might have been a little closer to October because he remembers some stuff about that I don't.
Okay.
Would that still be in the same range as the breeding and
babies being born? Yeah.
So we were in there working on the deer stand that the limit fell on. And sometimes I got...
Take your time. And if you don't want to share, that's fine.
No, it's fine. It's just now that I've actually come out about it and think about it, I just start to think how close I was to that damn thing.
Yeah. And the more you talk about it, the better you feel. The more you share, that weight will come off your shoulders.
Well, when you've got something that closes the distance like that, I don't even know where to begin with that. Yeah. That is before we get into this, how fast have you had one close the distance?
Well, close the distance towards me.
And then come and left charging you.
Yeah, that would be the only one, and that was fast. I wouldn't even be able to estimate, but the closeness of it was still. He stopped about maybe about 20 yards away.
Yeah,
and that was close enough.
I'm still wondering if this one was closer because it was so damn loud.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can't see anything is the other thing.
Yeah.
So we went into that stand, and like I told you before, still had the tractor running. It was probably 7, 8 o'clock. I'm surprised I don't remember more about the time frame of that evening. I know it wasn't that late. But anyway, we go in there to work on that stand. Flashlight and a handsaw that was probably as dull as a butter knife, but we start cutting that limb off, and that was when the screaming started. I don't know why I thought it was someone in there. But then again, why would I think anything else would be in the woods? Yeah. Just the volume of this thing. I've never heard anything yell from 100 yards that sounded anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, people who haven't heard it, who haven't experienced, they just don't quite get it.
And I think about how many people have heard the same shit that we did that night. They won't even tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't give a shit anymore. Somebody thinks that I'm nuts.
Good for you. Good for you. God bless you. We need more people like you. Don't give a damn.
Well, all my friends have learned that I don't really I don't really care.
Yeah.
I didn't see him, but when I don't need to see it to know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
When I started yelling at it, thinking it was just some asshole in the woods, that was when it moved.
Yeah.
And thanks, Patty. I really don't. when you grew up hunting, and you think of all the things you can see that can cover the distance, nothing moves like that. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nope.
And within seconds, there he is. I can't see him. I know he's there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's screaming again. I mean, you feel like you're standing in front of a speaker. Everything's vibrating. You can't. Unless someone's had one doing it, there's really no way to describe it.
Yeah, I think I shared with you about a friend of mine who had both eardrums burst from Bigfoot screaming at her too close. I think it was within 30 yards.
Yeah. I mean, when you've got the two of us that have, I mean, he's hunted way more places than I have since then, and we're both pretty seasoned now, but we didn't back then. Now that we know what we know, just from other stuff that we've hunted, nothing. And I didn't have a gun.
You had a handsaw.
Handsaw and the world's dimmest flashlight. Well, might have had a pocket knife, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't go back there without a gun anymore.
Yep. Yep.
And some really bright flashlights.
Yeah, that teaches you the value of getting a really bright flashlight.
And you, I don't even. There's been a few times since then that I've gone back there and recovered deer by myself at night, but it was not a pleasant task.
No.
I usually try to call somebody. But then again, we've never had rocks thrown or anything here, so I don't think they're aggressive, except for that particular time. But you think it's just the areas that they're in, they're more aggressive in certain, or does it just depend on the group?
I do think that some of them are more aggressive, and it also depends on the circumstance.
Yeah.
If they're near their troop, if they're near or with the babies, and the breeding mothers, then of course they're going to be more protective, just guarding their family.
Yeah.
And it's very possible that that's what you ran into, that you were a little bit too close.
Yeah.
To where the babies were. Yeah, exactly, Melvin, protecting their family. And that's very possible.
Yeah, and that was the night we found out that I run a lot faster than I thought I did. but he's going back up, but it's screaming in our faces, and I'm thinking, how in the hell is he this calm at this point? Because I don't even.
Now, didn't your friend take off with the tractor?
No, I almost left him.
Oh, okay.
I almost left him out there.
Oh.
He came down the hill from he came down about below the tractor. I mean, somehow we ended up in two different directions. Good Lord. And thank God, I was doing the patented Kunbo pointed in the safe direction. All I had to do was fire that thing up and get out of there, but I almost left him standing in the cornfield.
Some friend.
Yeah, I got a ass chewing about that later, but
well, you learn who's your friends.
him and I are still best friends. But
yeah, no,
I think he wondered a little bit after that.
It comes down to self-preservation. Your instincts. Hey, protect your ass.
Well, when I didn't think that a tractor could be operated at that high of a speed going across a cornfield with a hill in the middle of it, but you learn what you're capable of. The only thing you care about is getting the hell out of Dodge.
Yep. Oh my, going across those cornrows. Holy moly, in a tractor.
Well, you saw the background of where that deer stand was.
Yeah.
And you can see the barn. That cornfield that's right behind the stand, where it goes up along that edge of the woods, mm-hmm. That was the hill I jumped.
Oh, jeez.
In a 7400 John Deere 4-wheel drive cab loader, and I was.
Let's see, Patty asked,
got tested out that night.
See, wonder if you attach a trail camera to the front and back of you, if you could walk through the woods at night. Who was it? Scott Carpenter?
Did he do that?
Yeah. He used to attach not a trail camera, but a body camera. He would attach one to his back, and he caught a few things. And I advise people to do that also when you're out hiking. You point if you have one of those body cameras or a GoPro or something, point it towards your at your back to see what's behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you may catch something. Scott Carpenter did. He used to.
He caught a lot of stuff.
He did, yeah. And I think there was another Bigfooter out of Arizona who would do the same thing. He was up on the Mogollon Rim, and okay. He said it was a dog man. Oh, no thanks. Jeez.
I went back and watched C.A. Roberts' video the other night after he was on with Spencer. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at that going, holy.
Yeah.
I thought actually, when I first watched the video, I thought I could see something poke its head out in that first frame, and I was like, did I just see what I thought I did?
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch that one. I missed that episode.
Yeah, I think you need. DA said it looks better when you put it up on the big screen.
Okay. Yeah, I watch a lot of videos on my TV through the Roku, and you
can probably see stuff better because you can blow it up.
Yeah, it's like it's 60-inch screen, so it's. I
never thought that I'd say this, but I'm starting to wonder about Dogman.
Yeah, I believe in them. I've received too many reports from around here. I haven't seen one. I have no desire to see one. I don't. But
I've never heard anything definitive, but I have heard rumors of them in Maryland, but I never did find out where.
yeah.
After I talked to you, I hadn't, not that I haven't found anything definitive, but
Mm-hmm.
then again, this state's not really known for too much, unless
Yeah.
you look up the Chessie, the Chesapeake Bay Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of ghost stories and so on. A lot of that.
Oh, there's a lot of those.
Yeah. Yeah. There's. I really don't hear too much from Maryland about Bigfoot reports or researchers. Just Dave Thundercloud, and really,
There's some stuff, but I don't know how much they're really into it.
Yeah.
I've been looking, but
Mm-hmm.
I have talked to a few people on the forums that are from my area.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, well, there's a guy. He's actually going on. He's going to be on with Spencer and them on Sunday.
Oh. Okay.
And then there's been a few other things. I haven't heard too much more, but like down along the river. But the only thing I've really seen is BFRO reports, and you know how they can be sometimes. So it's
Yeah. They only put out not even a tenth of what they received.
yeah. Why is that?
Well, publicly, they will say that they don't have enough researchers, but from what I've heard, it's more a matter of they don't want the information to get out, or there's some researchers they'll have the reports in their system, but they think the person is a hoaxer or whatever, because that's what they call Kumbo. They don't, at least somewhat up to a point, but boy, they follow him. They follow him and they imitate him, and they've tried to steal his research. So
That's what I always wondered about, because they were always so hell bent on trying to get his calls.
Yep. And they call him a troublemaker. Yeah. Well, if you try to steal my stuff, you bet I'll be a troublemaker to you.
I went and I tried to make some of my own calls lately here, and I scared the shit out of myself.
Now, do you do that around your house? I would advise don't. Don't do it around your house. You don't want to draw them to where you live. Not a good idea, and I can tell you that by experience.
I tried it last night on the back of the farm just to see what. I didn't hear anything, so.
Well, even so, just be aware that you honestly don't want to draw them into where you live.
We don't want to do what Kumbo did the one night with the loudspeaker in his house where it showed up.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yep.
I heard that story and I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that last night.
No. No.
But the peepers never shut up either, so I guess they weren't paying attention to me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's a good sign right there. Just take care, and I would advise, if you're going to do calls, go about 30 miles away. from where you live.
Over to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, because one night, I had done some calls about a mile from where I lived, and
Yeah, you did do that, didn't you?
yep, I did. Yeah, and that night they followed me home, and uh, they made all kinds of trouble, beating on the side of my house. A little one, I guess it had to have been a little one, got up on my roof and was running. I could hear him running back and forth across the roof, and crazy, but yeah, I was scared, and my husband would not wake up.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes. Well, he was tired, he works construction, and granted, yeah, he was exhausted, but he just would not wake up. But man,
I really wish more people would come out about it. I think the more we talk about it, it's gonna. I mean, people talking about UFOs now.
yeah, they're coming out public with UFOs.
They'll come out with that, but they don't want to come out with Bigfoot.
No, and to be honest, I don't think they will. I truly, and that's because of their DNA. Is what I'm guessing, because they have human in their DNA. Yeah, Joe asks, "What did you do to them?" I did nothing to them. All I did was make some calls. That was it. And they decided to come in and harass me. Well,
yeah, I just got my recorder today, but I didn't get a chance to go set it out because I didn't feel like traipsing through the mud.
yeah. Yeah, you're right, Joe. Yeah, it can be overdone, and calling. They get used to it. They know that that it's a human, that you're not another Bigfoot, and they can tell by the calls. We just don't have the volume, and we don't get the right pitch sometimes, unless you really know what you're doing, unless you really know what the calls mean, and that you're not doing a challenge call, especially from your home, or playing a recording of a challenge call like Kumbo did that one night down in Mississippi. you kind of learn your lesson.
I don't even think I can get enough volume to even do anything decent. So
no. Yeah, once you get intimidated by them, you kind of learn to not to do that.
After what happened to me, I was just, I just gave him a hey, welcome to the neighborhood last night.
Oh.
I know you're there. Of course, I don't think it. That carries back there, but I feel like if something had been there, I would have heard it.
Yeah.
If it decided to respond.
Yep.
Of course, they'd have to cover open fields to get to my house where I'm at, so I'm at the other end of the property.
Yeah, Joe Parker, yeah. Yep. Calls at home. Oh, I know, Joe. That's on his farm, and they know him. He knows them. He knows he knows how far he can go.
Yeah. He always like he's gotten along very well with them.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, you run into the wrong one in the wrong mood. Boy, they can they'll let you know for sure. Yeah, they can get pissed for sure. Oh, I
Well,
know,
as far
Joe.
as I know, the only time we've ever pissed one off was that night. Now we've had people who've heard the mumbling, like I told you about my one friend.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's been the pretty much the as far as vocals go, except for the couple times people have heard screams back there. But it's so sporadic that we don't. There's so much ground for them to cover around here.
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of new houses, but there's still all that park ground and everything else,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of private property that people aren't on. I mean, they're good at hiding, so.
Well, they do. They know the terrain, and the houses, the new houses going up. Well, that's just more hiding places for them. They can duck behind the house, go in the corners and the shadows, and they use it all to their advantage.
Well, there's the creek beds, and then there's the old railroad bed that runs through.
Yeah.
And they could. The mom and pa railroad used to come through the bottom of the farm. Mm-hmm. There's still that railroad bed still there. I would imagine they probably use that some.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, they'll use it all.
But it's that whole cut still there.
That's good, Patty.
I've never pulled a tree knocks.
Yeah, I've done a few, and I've gotten replies back, but I really don't do them. In fact, anymore, about the only thing that I do anymore is whistle. I don't do calls. I don't do tree knocks anymore. I'll whistle, but that's about it.
Do you think just leaving recorders out is the best thing? As far as trying to hear anything?
Pardon me?
Leaving recorders out, would you say that's the best thing as far as hearing stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, get a recorder.
Yep, I've got one sitting right here that I need to go put out.
Okay. Yeah, you don't need to go expensive or anything. And just put it in a baggie, keep it out of the weather. It'll still record good through the baggie.
Yeah.
And it'll pick up, try to place it where the sound won't be blocked by a hill or trees or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
I'm a little worried what I might find on that.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. Be very careful. But then again, I used to do audio reviews for an organization, and most of the time, 99%, all I heard was possums or raccoons or something just walking through the leaves, and it's a lot of that. Yeah.
I just want to know if they're still here, and if they are, how to keep from having any unwanted confrontations with them.
Well, for that, just pay attention to your surroundings. Don't call or knock from your home. Shame, don't do that. And if just pay attention, be aware. And if you start to feel like you're in danger, if you get that sudden feeling, well, then pay attention, to your instincts. respect their territory, turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
That's about it.
The funny thing about all this, the piece of property that we hear a lot of stuff from down there, and it's the same spot where those deer were hanging off of the tree stands the one year. Not where we got ran out. This is on the back of the. This is one of the little pieces we leased behind us from one of the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
He gave permission to a guy that's not one of my guys to hunt that. So I'm wondering what's going to happen next year.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I still go in there because I'm farming it and I still hunt it, but I can't wait to see what happens if this guy goes in there and starts thinking that one of us is messing with him or something. And
oh, jeez. Oh boy. Yeah. And then once he sees one, well, then
it's not a very big acreage, but the one section of it's got a thicket in it, and we've heard some stuff come from down there at night, and I would probably I don't know if it's going to go well.
yeah, you'll find out.
Because it wasn't until after I went on Woodwalkers that some of my guys were telling me about some of the stuff they've heard back there, and they're like, yeah, it's all coming from down there in the bottom, and I'm thinking, whew, that's no wonder we always got weird feelings in this place.
Yeah, there's usually one certain area that you always get those weird feelings from for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's the place we don't like to go after dark.
Yeah. Then don't go.
like the rest of the farm, like our property, I don't feel weird at night. Mm-hmm. Even up where I got screamed at, I don't really feel weird up there. It's something about that once you cross into that backfield,
mm-hmm.
It takes on a whole different feeling at night. Even the guys that haul manure for us do a lot of night work, and they're spreading manure back there at night. And I mean all night.
Oh, wow. And you've heard from them?
They haven't heard anything, but the one guy that runs for them said that place feels off after dark.
Huh. Well, there could be a reason for that.
Well, there's been times that, like I said before, doing field work back there right at dark, and you feel like something's looking at you from the woods. Then you decide it's time to go home and work on it tomorrow in the daytime. Like Coonbo and his lawnmower.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got a.
I hadn't heard that story until after I had some of my incidences, and I was thinking, oh, well, that explains a lot.
Yep. Yeah, similar happened to me whenever we were just before we broke ground to our new property here. We had a guy come out with a brush hog, and he was getting into the evening, and he was at that time he was getting close to the tree line, right as it was getting dark, and I saw something come down, and he was still maybe about 20 feet from the tree line, and something came out, a tree limb came out from the tree line, landed on his brush hog.
Oh, shit. Was
And
this your husband's brush hog?
huh?
Was this your brush hog?
No, this was a guy we hired.
Ah.
And it happened twice as he was here, and so that was my. I had seen other sign in the area, so I knew they were here, but I didn't know they were quite that close.
They were throwing limbs out at the tractor.
Yep.
Oh shit! That's the new one.
Yep. They didn't care for the noise of the brush hog. Yeah.
What did you say about a group in Maryland?
That guy, your friend, he'll be joining Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project, or else a group in Maryland.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a Bigfoot group.
There is, but I haven't really. I've been on there a little bit, but no one's really gotten back to me on there. So
Really?
there's been a couple people, but not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not very active.
Maybe they're not as into it. I don't.
It could be, and that's a shame. That's a shame.
Because I went on. I tried reaching out to people, and I've gotten a few so far, but
Yeah.
it hasn't. I think some of them are probably just sitting in the background watching, trying to decide if they want to talk or not.
Yeah. Yep. Well, they're afraid of ridicule, and that's a shame. And that goes towards the original subject. You see them, you don't, but then again, people who see them, will they report them?
Well, if nobody believes me, they can go back there running a tractor, making a bunch of noise at night.
Yep.
Go walking off into the woods.
Yep. Well, tell you what, we're coming on
We're getting there.
22 after 9.
Oh Lord, I didn't even realize what time it was.
It's been a good.
I don't mind shooting the bull with people, and
yeah, I thank you for coming on. You grabbed that link, and I'm glad you did.
yeah, I get off on too many tangents sometimes, but
that's okay.
there's
So do
definitely it took me this long to even want to talk about it, but I really give it to Spencer and them for.
Yeah. He's a good guy. Misty, he and Misty, they're great, and Greg House.
Yeah.
Very good people. Very good people.
I mean, I watched them for a few months, and then finally I just hit him up and said, I'd talk to you about it. And it wasn't even a day later he calls me, and I'm thinking, I wasn't expecting this kind of response.
No, it's good, and it helps you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
To talk about it and get it out and verbalize what you experienced.
And I mean, just because you don't see it, I didn't have to see it to know what it was.
Yeah.
Unless you tell me it's something else that does.
Yeah, a bear will bluff charge, but you'll see it. Yeah, they'll come right out. You'll see them, but
I still can't get over how quiet it was.
Yeah.
You don't even hear it.
No, that's right. You don't.
unless it wants you to hear it.
Exactly. And that's when it'll happen. Whenever they want you to hear them, they can be so doggone intimidating. And that's their specialty right there.
Well, next time I won't call in the backfield.
Yeah, please don't. Yeah, you truly don't want them to come in at your house and start harassing you at your house. Yeah, I don't know if you have family there or not, but
Oh, they live closer to the woods than I do.
yeah, just take care.
Yep. I'm going to start setting the recorder out this weekend, hopefully, if I can get back there.
Yeah.
Too muddy. But, yeah, it's, I really appreciate all that you guys have definitely helped me. And
Good. Yeah. And you've been great. And what you do, your sharing, helps other people. Who've experienced things and they're afraid to come out and share it. Yeah,
thanks.
it helps. It helps not only yourself but them also. And I thank you for that. I really do. I'm thankful for people like you and your bravery, just for doing it.
Yeah, I mean, if I always figured if I can, if maybe me doing it get somebody else to talk about it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, thank you. And yeah, I think that we'll close this up now. And anytime you're in there, yeah, come on in.
Yep, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for everything. Thank you, everybody else, for joining with us and listening. And this has been fantastic. Thank you, Jeff. Thank all of you. God bless. And we'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.